Hello, everybody, and welcome to the brand new Mintable channel. This is a Sims 4 channel, basically. It's just me sharing my builds, just as I am today, and also some cast videos too, but those I'm still trying to film them, and I'm in the process of editing a few videos. I have a few shorts coming up of um, cast related things, but that's besides the point. um, Today, I humbly give you all my first video ever on this YouTube channel. It's my first ever YouTube video, but I'm still pretty new at this thing, especially when it comes to The Sims 4. I literally just got this game a few months ago. Anyways, I digress. This is the speed build that I've been working on for the past few days. I think for a week now I've been working on this build. It's a apartment building located in Mount Komorebi. Well, I built it in Mount Komorebi, and it's heavily inspired by tiny Japanese apartments. Those types of apartments where they're usually in the city and they're usually super cheap to rent. There's not a lot of space, but I mean, these apartments, they're studio apartments, but they kind of do have a bit more space than you would originally think they have. Well, for two of them. One of them has barely any space and is more um it's more similar to something you would see in real life. It's the one on top of the noodle shop. I'm sorry. Um, it's the one on top of the noodle shop. Uh, there's in total three apartments in this build. Two of them I furnished. One of them I left empty, but I put a kitchen slash bathroom in them. I furnished all the necessities basically. It's move-in ready. Yeah, it's move-in ready. And I low-key just I was really proud of myself after building this because this build took me ages. This build took me so long. Um and you will kind of see that especially in the video length. I'm so sorry that this is almost 40 minutes long. I did not intend for that to be the case. However, that's just how things panned out, and if I cut more footage from this video, then it will literally not make any sense. Again, I digress. So a little bit about this build. There is a noodle shop to the side that's a lot older than the more modern apartment building right next to it, and I figured that was a really common theme I saw looking throughout Mount Komorebi. It was that there were a lot of older buildings next to modern buildings, and I feel like this is also the case in real life too, especially when looking at streets in Japan. I'm just okay, uh, I can probably put this here. This is probably realistic, and it is. I think it is pretty realistic, anyways. um, so I'm furnishing it right now. This is the entrance to the noodle bar. I call it a noodle bar because it has a bar in it, but there's not really any place that you could serve noodles from. It's just a bar. And it's a place where you can come, grab a drink, eat, all of that stuff with your Sims. And then on the second floor is a very small, very minuscule apartment. It shouldn't even be called an apartment because it is that freaking small. And also another thing about these apartments that really made it hard for me to build was the fact that this is one of the only times that I've built without CC. I am a fiend for CC and custom content and mods in The Sims 4. I genuinely think I wouldn't be able to play this game unless I have mods. And you can kind of see that in my build buy. I have better build buy by Twisted Mexi. Every builder needs to have that. I'm just saying it makes your life 10 times easier. And I also have the dark mode UI by Sketch. Well, it changes halfway through the video because I switched to Vixated's dark mode UI, which is a lot better in my opinion. But anyways, I can't play mods. I can't play without mods, sorry. And So right now I'm just furnishing the noodle bar, which again, it's really just a bar. There's no noodles to it. Just pretend that they sell like noodles and ramen and stuff because I legitimately could not fit a kitchen here. Well, I probably could have, but I got lazy and I was like, when I built this bar, I was hopped off on antibiotics and medicine because I got food poisoning halfway through building this build, and I went to the doctor. They prescribed me some medicine, and I was feeling like shit. But again, I had to do what I gotta do. So while I'm building in the background, I kind of just wanted to share a little information about me. My name is Mint, or my nickname is Mint, and I have been wanting to play The Sims 4 since forever. Like, up until it was announced that it was going to release for free, I have been wanting to play The Sims since I was, I think, 11 or 12. And I I've been living vicariously through YouTubers to do that. And now that it's finally free, like the little kid in me is just like jumping for joy. And as soon as I got the game, I played it for months on end. A little bit too much because I have like 700 hours on it and I just got the game the day it got released for free. Uh, that's a bit of a problem, but just don't mind that. Anyways, I love building. I love doing casts. I'm mainly a cast and build by simmer, obviously. Um, I'm not the best builder though. I want to say that. Like, I think me really uh depending on CC makes me kind of a bad builder, but I mean, I I don't know. I'm not that confident in my skills as a builder. I'm not confident in like having the most original ideas ever or all of that stuff. But I do enjoy the process of building. I enjoy the process of picking out swatches, picking out furniture that I think suits the overall aesthetic of a build, and just yeah, I really like building, seeing others build, and all that. So one of the main inspirations for starting this YouTube channel is actually a YouTuber. Her name is Miss Griffey, and I think her content is just really great. She does a lot of speed builds, and she's a really good builder. Like, she's one of my top favorite builders on here, and I just think her build style is really nice and really fun. Honestly, I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but there are other Sims 4 YouTube channels that inspired me to do this. I wanted to try making a speed build video because I was bored one day, and this is what was born out of it. Um, I like I had the footage and I was totally intent on like not posting this, but then I had a thought in the back of my head. I was like, what if I made a YouTube channel out of this? And I put I downloaded CapCut because that's what I'm editing this on. I'm editing this on CapCut, and I'm aware that it's not the best for like long form YouTube videos. There's been some hiccups along the road, and I'm also not used to editing because this was a pain to edit. Oh my gosh. But um I really enjoyed just filming this actually. I enjoyed like going through what I would narrate, what my process of thinking is for building and stuff, and it was a really fun thing to try out. And I was like, I mean, I might as well make a YouTube channel out of this, and so I did. That's what I'm doing right now. And I also want to make more videos, like more speed builds and stuff, because I have a lot of ideas when it concerns speed builds. And I also have a lot of ideas for cast challenges. Now, for cast challenges, one of the YouTubers that really inspired me was It's Cordy Loves. I love It's Cordy Loves. I think their content is just it's funny. I love their content. It's super slay, as she would probably say. Um, they were also one of my main inspirations for starting this YouTube channel. I just I feel like it'd be a blast, honestly. The editing not so much, but actually doing the content, yeah, totally. Um I do have a couple of builds that I've already like made videos for that I'm gonna try to like um edit and get out in a timely manner, but I cannot promise that. Um I just I editing this bit took a toll out of me, dude. And on top of that, I kind of have school. Well, not kind of have school. I do have school. I have school. I'm going to college right now. I have class to worry about. The semester is about to start in a few days ish. And I can't guarantee that I'll have enough time to really make this a full-time thing, but I mean as a hobby or a project or whatever, I guess it'd be fun. Playing The Sims is my favorite pastime other than sleeping. So um back to the build though. So I'm furnishing the upstairs of the noodle shop, the apartment upstairs, the noodle shop, and I had so much trouble trying to pick a wallpaper swatch because I wanted it to feel like an older, like smaller studio apartment, like one you'd find like not one of the modern ones, but more of like the older ones, like the converted ones. And I think I did a pretty good job. I used mostly like the cheap stuff, the appliances. I didn't put a full fridge on there because I didn't think it would fit. So I put a mini fridge in there. And I actually made up an entire story about the sim that lives here. So the sim that lives here currently they go to college at Brightchester, and the student loans or the bills they have to pay is kicking their butt right now. So they got kicked off the dorm because financially it didn't go through, and they had to find a place to quickly settle in. And they found this place in Mount Komorebi, and I guess they were like, okay, well, there's only going up from here. And they're a law student, hence the files on the countertop. I know that's so law student. Wow. But I yeah, that's the story behind this sim. They're a broke college student trying to pay rent, and they were originally gonna be in the other unit, the more modern one, but then they saw the price of the rent that was like probably like a lot, not a lot, but like a few $100 simoleons more expensive than the rent for this one, and they were like, you know what, I'll take it. And honestly, they can't really complain, or they're not really complaining because like it's it's right upstairs from a noodle shop, and it's near a laundromat, so they don't really have to go anywhere for any amenities really. And it's not like they have like pets or anything. It's just them. Like they live here by themselves, no pets, no significant other, no nothing. So like it's not too bad for them. Um yeah, that's as far of the story as I went through with this one. I furnished it kind of like how I would furnish a tiny home, but a lot more cluttered. Speaking of clutter, I don't know if like how I place things, I don't know if anything's functional in this build. I have to playtest it, but it will be playtested before I upload it to the gallery probably. Um my gallery ID is mintables dot, I think. I'll put it in the description, but this is a no CC build, meaning if you have the packs that come with this build, then you won't be missing anything. If not, then it'll probably just get replaced with something from base game or whatever. I really do apologize if this comes off as like unpolished and like unprofessional, because this is unprofessional. I'm literally just a kid. Not a kid. I'm a teenager. I'm literally just a teenager filming this in their closet using their MacBook that they also use for school to film and edit these this video and all other videos on my channel, I don't have enough money for a PC, unfortunately, so I'm very limited for with what tools I have, and I'm trying to make the most out of it. So far, it's working okay. It does give me some headaches, but it's fine. Just be patient with me, I guess. Like, I'm really sorry that this isn't like top-notch quality or and all that. Like, I'm mad at myself too, but this is really what we have. Okay, so we're finally moving on to the exterior of the modern apartment building. I flip-flopped with the fences here for a long while just because, like, I didn't like the look of the get to work fences, but it was the only ones that fit, so I had to settle for that. And also, I'm mad at myself for this because the back of this doesn't make sense, right? Because you know how there's garage doors there and like crates and stuff? At the time of me building this, I was fully prepared to make a laundromat slash like little convenience store, but I never got to do that because I scrapped the convenience store idea and decided to replace it with like an office for the apartments and stuff. So yeah, the back just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. You can really see my indecisiveness show through my builds and my speed builds. So you can kind of see me start to work on the laundromat. The floor plan for this place wasn't that hard to figure out. The floor plan for the apartments was hard because initially they weren't supposed to be studio apartments. They were supposed to be like 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom apartments, but I quite literally didn't know what to do with the space, so I had to make do and make a studio apartment. It's not my proudest moment. I really wanted it to be a 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom on top, 2 bedroom in the middle, but it didn't pan out that way, and I'm also really bad at making floor plans, so it it probably was because of that. Anyways, I'm starting on the entrance to the laundromat, sorry. And I used the little parking ticket thing from City Living as a makeshift ATM because the other ATM in the game is literally like a criminal thing, like it's the stolen ATM, and I didn't want to use that one because that one was low-key like, you know, I'm just furnishing the front of it, making it look like worn and street. I don't know. It just looks like somebody, it's been here for a while. And while it is like newer than the Noodle shop, this building is pretty old in the grand scheme of things. It's not like the 2020, the 2022 type of modern. It's more like the 2016 or the 2017 type of modern. And I had a blast like furnishing this, to be honest, because rarely do I ever get to furnish buildings like this, because again, as I've said before, my forte is tiny houses and houses in general. And even then I get burnt out so easily. Unless I'm furnishing with CC, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this. So I'm just putting up some signs on the exterior, like some neon signs and stuff. Even though it doesn't really fit with this part of Mount Komorebi, I still like really wanted to put like signs there just to give it a little more of a city type of feel. You could honestly probably place this in San Myshuno if you really wanted to. I think it would fit in like that lot in the Spice District where the like it's not an apartment, it's like a lot. It's by the docks. I think it would fit there. But I mean, I built this in Mount Komorebi, sorry, primarily because it was inspired by Asian apartments, and particularly Japanese apartments, like the really small ones, like that. Those were the ones that I was really like getting inspiration from. Wait, so now I'm starting on the laundromat itself, and you can kind of see me like just going for it in the floor plan. And I didn't have that much trouble furnishing this part of the build. This part was the easy part, to be honest. I don't know. I just had a really smooth time with it. There's like a little front desk office thing, and I guess there's a receptionist there. It's not to check for the laundromat. I was also sorry. I was also going through the idea that maybe this front part could be like a little like a gaming cafe, like a computer cafe. But then I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I was trying it out, and I cut the footage out because it was taking too long. But I tried to do the computer cafe thing, just it didn't work out. So I just made it into a seating area, like a general seating area. There's an ATM machine there, or at least pretend it's an ATM machine there. A front desk if you have any questions about the apartments upstairs, if you're interested in leasing, because the middle apartment or the apartment on the second floor is available for lease. Like I said, it's move-in ready. And yeah, here you're just gonna see me like furnish the seating area itself. Just adding some accessories, not accessories, like clutter. I added a computer desk there, just adding some general things. Added a painting. It's like those paintings that you just see at like the doctor's office that are like really general. I added a carpet there too. I noticed I use that carpet a lot. That carpet from Cats and Dogs, like that little rug, the jute rug. Yeah, I use it a lot. I just realized that. It's one of my favorite like things in the game. Anyways, yeah, now I'm just furnishing up the actual laundromat itself. And I think I put a lot of laundry machines here, even though there's only 3 units. But my thought process while building this was like, this is like a community laundromat, right? Like, it's not just limited to the ones from the apartments or like the tenants to the apartments. It's also for like everyone else who's living nearby. Like, maybe pretend there's like nearby apartments and maybe they all come to this one place to wash their clothes or something. I don't know. And then here is like a little bit of a chill area. There's snacks here. There's vending machines, a bench you can sit on, a board, like a little cork board, probably to showcase like community news and stuff. And yeah, I'm just putting down plants and making it look a bit lived in, even though it's not really lived in my opinion. I go ahead and change a couple of things up later, but yeah, now I'm going into the bathroom, and I made this like unnecessarily large. I don't know why it's so big, but it just is, and it's a lot less cramped than the bathrooms in the apartments, which I guess works, but yeah, I didn't know how to furnish this place because it's just a general, like, it's a general lot, right? It's a general what's it called? It's a general bathroom. So it's a bathroom that's for public use. So I didn't decorate it too much. Okay, so here I'm touching up the exterior again. I forgot to add like wallpaper to the outside, so I just made it like stone. And there's a pop of color there, like this dark gray, but it's not too much. Again, it's a more modern apartment. It's not gonna be like super colorful. It's not gonna be detailed like I like to do my apartments, but that's besides the point. Um, Building modern really isn't my forte. Like, I'm sorry guys. I'm not used to building modern homes because I don't know. It's just not something that I gravitate towards. And then now I'm just, placing down like doors and windows for the apartments in this building. I'm placing down their mailboxes, and you could totally like make this like a rentable space, I think, with the for rent pack. I don't have the for rent pack, but you could probably like download this build off the gallery and then like just sequester each um floor or each apartment. And yeah, here we jump to the the floor plan because I spent too long figuring out a floor plan for both of the apartments. I I settled on making the kitchen its own like room because I was trying to do the thing where it was a tiny kitchen, but then I was like, that doesn't make any sense because it's about the same size as the apartments down, like the apartment on top of the noodle shop. And I didn't want it to feel like that. I wanted these apartments to feel like a step up from the noodle shop. They're not entirely too big. They don't have their own bedrooms or whatever. It is still a studio, but it's not as cramped as the other one. And I feel like I've done some justice with it. Now, I'm furnishing the top one, which is the one where a sim lives. And the sim that I pictured living in here was a recently graduated like the sim. It's probably a guy, but I try to keep it as gender neutral as possible. But they just recently graduated college or something, and they have their diplomas on display in the entryway, and they just recently moved into this apartment, which is why it's so sparse. Well, it's not sparse, but it's a lot more sparse than I would like it to be. And they just graduated and they relocated to Mount Komorebi to start a new life, just to get on with their life, basically. They found a new opportunity here and therefore they live here now. And again, the rent in this apartment building is super cheap, so it's probably a haven for newly grads or something. Sorry. I just had dinner like 30 minutes ago, and I ate pasta, and I'm lactose intolerant, and I know I'm digging my own grave by like eating pasta and being lactose intolerant, but really I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Anyways, so I'm at doing the bathroom now, and the bathroom was another one that I really had a rough time with because I I didn't know how to break it up because I wanted the toilet to be separate from the shower and like the tub and stuff. Well, there's no tub in this apartment. I wanted there to be a tub, but there's none. I couldn't fit one, so therefore there isn't any. And um, I actually really like how the bathroom turned out for something that is no CC. Usually my bathrooms turn out really cluttered because of CC, like Felixandre's and Hey Harry's and all of that. Like, it usually turns out way more detailed than this, but I honestly really liked this build. I really did. This specific room though. Um, the shower was giving me a bit of trouble because I did like raise up some of the floors. So like the entryway is one down from the rest of the apartment, I think. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Anyways, so now we're moving on to the bedroom slash living room slash dining room. It's very small, and originally I wanted there to be a divider between the two, but then I just omitted that entirely because, and you'll see it soon, because I didn't want it to be the same as the apartment that the previous apartment. That one had a divider, and it was really hard to take screenshots, so I just omitted the divider here, and I just made it pretty much open concept. And I also changed out the dresser that I had here, and you'll see that in a bit because I think it was just too clunky for me. I settled with one from high school years, I think. No, it was the one from Snowy Escape 2. I used a lot of Snowy Escape here because obviously it's Mount Komorebi. I had to fit the theme. Like, I had to make it like look like it fit its general surroundings, I guess. But I mean, I think it worked out pretty okay. Like, it worked out really pretty. And now I'm furnishing the dining space, which is just a table and two chairs. Again, I don't know if this is functional. So, well, at the time of recording this, I don't know if this is functional. I'll play test it to make sure that it's functional, so there might be some tweaks. I think I already said this, but yeah. I will play test it, do some tweaks if need be, and yeah. Okay, so here I'm starting to do the rooftop, and I made a few changes to the railings and stuff, and now I'm just adding the ACs. So my vision for this was like, it was gonna be like a grass, like floor, like a grass, like the floor is gonna be fake grass, and it's just gonna be like a little recreational hangout spot. You know, there's a grill, there's places to sit, there's a few activities, there's some music, a bonfire, and it's just like a recreational place for residents to hang out. And not even just residents, like residents and their friends, like all of that stuff. You have company over, you can go ahead and bring them here, and it's just a really nice and cozy space. I feel like I could have done more, but given like the limited amount of space that we had and also like me worrying about functionality, I couldn't really fit a lot here. But I'm sure like if you wanted to add something, you totally could. So we're nearing the end of the speed build, which at the end I'll show like screenshots of the build, but I enjoyed making this rooftop space. This is probably, it's not my favorite space, but it's up there. I think it's just adorable and cozy. But anyways, if you really enjoyed the speed build, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe. It really helps and it really boosts my ego a bit. It also helps my channel. I don't know if I want to continue doing this, and I really like it when people like the things that I do, so yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any comments, anything to say really, any suggestions for builds in the future, please don't hesitate to comment them down in the description, and let's move on to screenshots!